Hyundai has confirmed it's going to make a small electric car, probably similar in size, potentially the same sort of body style as the Kia Rio or the Hyundai Accent. Coming soon, coming to Europe. They say they plan on bringing it to Australia. That would mean it's likely coming to New Zealand as well. The United States could be for you guys too. Will it be affordable? Well, apparently it's going to cost around 20,000 US dollars. I think this car could be a real winner. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Hope you've had an amazing day. It's been an amazing day here in Australia. It's the middle of winter, but it was a perfectly sunny day today. Couldn't have asked for a better day. There wasn't a single cloud in the sky. Yeah, it wasn't really warm. It was only about 14 degrees, but hey, that's a heat wave in places like Norway, right? Maybe not. But I know in the UK, you guys just had a 40 Celsius day. And well, I heard that that's the hottest day you guys have ever had in your history. Now, my dad was born in the UK, and he said he thinks people would have been dropping dead all over the place. 40 degrees in the UK. They just can't handle it over there. They're just not used to these kinds of extreme temperatures. Now, I've got to tell you guys in the UK, stop whining. We have 40-degree days here in Australia all the time. I know you guys in the US, in the southern states, you get those as well. Europe, don't think you do there. I never remember it being that hot when I was there in Europe during summer. But I know there's plenty of places around the world where the temperature even gets to 50 degrees. Crazy. I don't know how people live in that kind of temperature. But hey, you know what? We live in the absolute best time to be alive, bar none. I mean, who would have thought, right? When we were little kids 20 years ago, that we'd be looking at an electric revolution in mobility. How easy is it now for most people to get an electric scooter and just get around, to be able to get to school, to college, to wherever they've got to go on an electric scooter, on an electric bike, or in an electric car, in a small electric car from Kia and Hyundai, hopefully soon. That could be another option as well. That 20,000 US dollars isn't exactly a bargain for China, but it is for Europe and the United States, and it would be for Australia as well. Now, what do we know about this car? Well, apparently it's going to occupy a similar space to the baby Hyundai i10, which is a European city car that hasn't made it to many countries around the world because apparently it's too expensive. Now, this budget-priced Hyundai hatch, or I'm going to guess they'll have a Kia version as well, there'll be a rebadged version, will be an SUV or crossover, but a small one. Just basically a hatch jacked up, essentially. I don't really see the point of that, to be honest. Doesn't make sense to me. I'd prefer to just have it at a normal ride height. Saves you money, right? Saves you money for lots of reasons. One of them, efficiency. But anyhow, apparently there's a growing trend for these kinds of small, micro, mini SUVs. Now, they're hugely popular in China, massively popular. And of course, they're becoming more and more popular in Europe now. Hyundai already sells the Bayon, which is a compact crossover SUV that is based on the third generation Hyundai i20 city hatch. Now, the European target price for this new electric car is 20,000 euros, which is Australian $29,000 or US around 20,000 US dollars as well. It's a similar price point for future rivals from companies like Volkswagen, BYD as well. And then, of course, you've got the Dacia Spring. Now, the Dacia Spring is, in my view, the car that will be basically a copy of this. It'll be a similar car, very, very similar size, similar dimensions, about 3.6 meters long, jacked up a little bit. And the Dacia Spring is incredibly popular in Europe right now. It's cheaper, in fact, than 20,000 euros. One of the cheapest EVs you can buy in Europe. And apparently the waiting list is extremely long, extremely popular for these kinds of electric cars. I'm sure Hyundai and Kia can see that. They want a piece of this market. Now, details of the battery electric program came from the marketing chief of Hyundai Motor in Europe, Andreas Hoffmann, who said the production model is still some way into the future. So I don't know what that means. Could be next year, could be the following year. Don't really know. He said, though, it is one of 11 other fully electric Hyundai models, which will be launched in Europe by 2030. Now, 11, in my view, is a good number. I think that's fair. I mean, other car companies are launching like 30. I mean, GM 30 by 2025. That's a lot of models. I mean, Volkswagen is saying they're going to have more than 70. In my view, 11, good goal. So why is Kia and Hyundai, why are they doing this? Well, the brands say that they see the importance of value-based EVs, especially for Europe. Hyundai and Kia have been the value leaders in the industry for years. That's the way the brand is still perceived in a lot of countries. Even though they obviously make some of the best electric cars you can buy, a lot of people still see them as more of a budget brand. They've made it clear that's not necessarily their focus in the future, with vehicles from, well, high-end Ioniqs, the Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6, Ioniq 7, then of course their Genesis models as well. Now, for those of you who don't know what it's like in Europe, it's a very different car market to the US and Australia. Small cars are very popular in Europe, and automakers like Volkswagen aim to bank on that fact as they plan their future electric vehicle lineups. Automotive News Europe reports that Volkswagen Group is targeting starting prices at around 20,000, like I said before. This will compete with Volkswagen's vehicles at about the same price. Volkswagen is saying they're going to have cars from Cupra, Skoda, and their own brand, which will compete with this car at around this price of 20,000 US dollars. So that's good to know. You guys got in Europe, and I think other countries around the world as well are going to have many options in this cheaper, more affordable price bracket. Not everyone can afford, a $50,000 car, which is fair enough. Not everyone wants to spend that kind of money on a car either. Now, Tesla, what are they doing? Will they make a vehicle in this segment? No, I don't think they will. Why? These kind of cars, they don't usually make a profit. That's the truth. These sort of budget cars, a lot of manufacturers don't make them anymore because they don't usually make, well, if they do make a profit, it's a very small profit. For example, the Wuling Hongwan Mini EV, the only reason that General Motors, SAIC, and Wuling actually make any money on them at all, they make about $300 each per company for a total of about $1,000 US dollars per car, is thanks to credits from the government in China. Without those credits, they would make nothing on each car. In fact, they would make 24 US dollars per car. So you can see budget margins on cheap cars is very low. I mean, even more expensive cars, say 20,000. Obviously, the Wuling Hongwan Mini EV isn't 20,000; it's a lot cheaper than that. But even when that price increases, the margins are still quite low. So on a car of this price, they might make $2,000 max. Then they've got to factor in marketing and all the efforts for the dealership, and there's lots of things involved with these kinds of cars. So what are these kinds of cars? What's the purpose? They're often actually loss leaders, and that's a marketing term for getting customers, new customers, into your brand. Sell them a cheaper car, get them into the brand. They start to like the brand. They get used to the brand. Then when they're ready to buy a more expensive car, a few years down the line, you'll be ready and waiting for them to come in and buy one. I don't think Tesla plans on having a loss leader ever. I don't think they need to. I think people see their cars as being desirable. The future of the automotive industry is electric. Tesla is perceived as the future. The Tesla Model A, though, or the Model 2, whatever you want to call it, in my view, is very real. Now, I believe people are incredibly misguided and incorrect if they believe that this vehicle will not be revealed within the next year and a half. I'm convinced that it will be for a number of different reasons. I believe there'll be two variants. This is my guess, a hatchback and then a jacked up hatchback, which will be kind of like a small SUV. So the same car, sort of like a Tesla Model 3 hatchback, and then the Model Y version, but smaller. That's my view. I think it'll look better than those two cars. I think they're doing a lot of work on this car in China right now. They've got a lot of employees who work in the so-called Chinese design center. What are they designing? Well, obviously they're designing a car for China. And I think it'll be a global car as well. But in particular, this car will go on sale in China first, where it will be extremely popular. Now, I've made a few videos on the Tesla Model 2 and the Model A and my thoughts on that. And I'll put a link in the description below to them. But I don't think it's going to be cheap. I think it'll be more like 30,000 US dollars. So priced about 30% higher than these entry-level budget EVs. But there'll be a lot of competition for Hyundai and Kia in Europe with what? Chinese entrants. The Chinese make small electric cars in this exact market segment. There are literally hundreds of thousands of them in China right now. They plan on flooding the market in Europe with these EVs. It's happening. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Volkswagen and Kia, Hyundai, got some tough competition coming to market very soon. So they better get a move on and get these to market fast. Now, let me know, are you interested in a $20,000 electric vehicle? Is that too expensive? I mean, some people don't want to pay that much for a car at all. Some people are like, no, I'm not going to pay any more than $15,000. Or yes, I'll pay $30,000. Let me know what's your kind of market segment for an EV and what are you willing to pay for something like this? Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.